Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at some questions of acid-base titrations. This first question here, a lot of information, but always helps to go through and hopefully get good at going through a question and identifying those key bits of information. So key bits of information, we've got 200 centimeter cubed of solution X. Two titrations are carried out. We have that much of sulfuric acid, 0.1. Two titrations, one with both NaOH and NaHCO3, and then one with just NaOH. This is what we've got for our 25 centimeters cubed of the solutions. We have some volumes, we've got our equations. So, first question is asking us to calculate the amount in moles of H2SO4 to neutralize only the sodium hydroxide in 25 centimeter cubed. Okay, we've got to work out what the moles are. We can do with an equation. So what we're working with then, we need to know sulfuric acid. So we've got some concentration of sulfuric acid, and we've also got some volume of sulfuric acid as well for only sodium hydroxide. So we've got a concentration and we've got a volume. We've got to work out the moles. Well, hopefully we know the equation that links moles to concentration to volume, which is that right there, concentration times by volume, volume in decimeters cubed. So when we're putting that into our equation, we take our concentration, 0.1, timesing it by 18, because that's the one that was only for sodium hydroxide, but make sure we convert it to decimeters cubed by dividing it by 1,000, and then so maybe do that as a separate part of your calculation, then times up by 0.1, and we should get 1.8 times 10 to the minus 3. And here we have our next part of the question. We need to calculate the concentration of sodium hydroxide. Now, it'd be always good to start off with the equation that we're going to need to use. So concentration is moles divided by volume. Now, in order to work the concentration out, I need the moles. I know what the volume is, but I need the moles, which I don't have. But I did just work out the moles of sulfuric acid. So if I go to my equation I have at the top here, and I look at the ratio, I can see that it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So I can take the moles of sulfuric acid, I can times up by 2, give me 3.6 times 10 to the minus 3. Then I need to work out my concentration. It was worked out, if you go back, it was worked out in 25 centimeter cubed. So do 25 over 1,000, get into decimeters, and then I'll get my concentration of NaOH. The next part of this is to work out the moles of sodium hydrogen carbonate in the 200 centimeter cubed of solution X. Now, again, I need my equation, so I'll need moles is concentration times by my volume. Now, in order to work out my volume, I'm going to take it from these values up here. So these are the titrations that were carried out with both sodium hydroxide and sodium hydrogen carbonate, and then just sodium hydroxide. So if I do 29.5 minus 18, that gives me the volume that I need. So I can look at this and see that I am a 0.1 times up by my volume being divided by 1,000 to get into decimeters. I'm taking into account the molar ratios as well. Getting up a molar ratio up here for everything that I need. But then that's just in 25 centimeters cubed. I then need to take into account the dilution factor. So you take your dilution factor, the big volume that you made it up to, divided by the volume that you just used, so whatever that might be. Generally it tends to be 200 or 250, but whatever that needs to be. Work out your dilution factor to then get your final value of your moles there. Okay, and final question, you need to calculate the mass of the sodium hydrogen carbonate in the 200 that we just worked out. So again, only worth a mark because you've done all the legwork in the previous question. So we don't have too much to have to do here. So starting off, how do we work out the mass? Well, we take our equation that we've known for a while now. Mass is moles times the MR. So we have our moles. Well, okay, we'll do the mass first. Our mass, we take our moles from before. We just worked it out from our previous question. Work out the MR, so sodium 23, hydrogen 1, carbon 12, oxygen 16. Times them both together, 1.55. Nice and easy, nice and straightforward for a final mark there. Okay. Okay, and that'll do us for this video here on acid-base titrations. See you next time.